Hello, Keeper here and welcome to Geordieland 1892. Got that lovely Angel of the North behind me here in Gateshead. Let's get into the video, eh? Well, hello and welcome back to Geordieland 1892. Well, Sunday sees Newcastle United take on Tottenham Hotspur at St James's Park on Sunday afternoon. It's a massive game, huge, gargantuan, probably more psychologically really, if you think about it. I mean, obviously this game will not define who gets to the Champions League or who finishes in third or fourth or fifth. It won't define that. But, you know, Newcastle at this moment in time reside in fourth on 56 points. Tottenham have 53. And obviously it'd be great for them to come up to St James's Park, get 3 points, and then we would be on equal points, wouldn't we? But Newcastle can't let that happen. We need to win this game massively, get those extra 3 points. 6 points clear we would be. At this moment in time, Tottenham are in fifth, Newcastle are in fourth, Manchester United are in third, but they don't play at the weekend due to FA Cup semi-finals. So Newcastle actually could, on Sunday afternoon after the game, once 90 minutes and plus is up, Newcastle could go back to third if we win that game. Now, Newcastle and Tottenham have done battle for well over 100 years, really. The first time, really, that we ever played Tottenham was back in 1905 in the FA Cup, funnily enough. The two teams have met 167 times in all competitions. Tottenham have won 73 times, Newcastle have won 60 times, and there's been 34 draws. Now that's in all competitions, that is. But obviously the first time we ever played them, 1905, was a big year for Newcastle United. We went to White Hart Lane, first time ever. We drew 1-1, and only 4 days later we had to play an FA Cup replay up at St James's Park in front of 27,000 fans. Newcastle won that game 4-0. Now, we actually got to the final that year. Unfortunately, it was at the old Crystal Palace, not at Wembley. Yet still, it wasn't done like that. And we were beaten by Aston Villa 2-0. But that year, 1905, is really important because Newcastle won their first league title. They won the English League, the old First Division. And the man who oversaw that, the unsung manager, in my opinion, is Frank Watt, the longest serving ever manager, really, at Newcastle United. And he did bring 4 league trophies, league champion trophies, to Newcastle United. So why isn't there a statue or a sculpture or anything to Mr. Frank Watt? Big question. Now, I was trying to rack my brains, you know, and I was trying to think back about really important games that we had played against Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm sure there's quite a few I've missed, but the ones that I can think of mainly were in cups. The semi-finals of the League Cup in 1976, where we beat them 3-1 at St James's Park, and of course 1999, when we played them in the semi-finals of the FA Cup at Old Trafford. I was there. We ended up winning in extra time there. Alan Shearer scoring 2 goals, a penalty and a screamer. David Ginola was on the pitch that day as well, but playing for Tottenham. A great day, well remembered that. But this particular game on Sunday is massive. It's massive, and like I say, for the reasons of I think the psychological boost, really. And of course the points are important. Now, like I've already said, it's not going to define the finishing places because Newcastle still have 10 games to play this season, including the Tottenham game, obviously. And obviously our last game of the season, which we thought was going to be at Stamford Bridge playing Chelsea, it is now going to be at the Amex. We will be playing Brighton and Hove Albion on the last day of the season. Obviously due to the World Cup, it's been extended, hasn't it? But in the last 5 times that we've met Tottenham Hotspur, it's been a case of 2 draws, 2 wins for them, and the very last game we played back in October this season, we beat them down there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We beat them 2-1, and that day it was Wilson and Almiron who got the glory for Newcastle United, and Mr. Kane managed to score a consolation goal. Now obviously that goal, you probably remember Wilson's goal, and it was highly contested because it was alleged that he fouled Loris, and they actually ended up getting a £20,000 fine for that player's conduct, but the goal stood. The referee said that it was a goal, and we got the 3 points down there. Yes, both teams last weekend suffered defeats, and thank God they suffered a defeat as well, because they would have caught us already, wouldn't they? But it was very different. Newcastle, after 5 unbeaten, lose to inform Aston Villa, and yes, we didn't turn up in that game. We were very, very poor, and all I can say is it's a blip, because Newcastle have been sensational this season, whereas Tottenham have been up and down, and Newcastle fans are thoroughly behind Newcastle United 150 million%, whereas the Tottenham fans are not. Now, they did get beat at the weekend by Bournemouth. They were at home, and their defender Sanchez, who made 2 errors every time he touched the ball after he made that second error for the second goal, the whole of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium booed him every time he touched the ball. They were booed off the pitch when they lost. They did equalise in the 88th minute, but Bournemouth popped up and done them after 90 minutes. Yes, it's not a harmonious feeling down there. Obviously, things are not going right, and without the goals of Harry Kane, I don't know where the hell they'd be. The team don't seem to be in the same frame of mind as what the Newcastle team do. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Now, obviously, it sort of went to a bit of a comedy club, didn't it? For Tottenham Hotspur, really, throughout the year. Obviously, the departure of Antonio Conte, in that post-match interview, basically publicly throwing his team under the bus. Maybe rightly so. I don't really know. Was it the fault of Conte? Was he not getting his mentality over properly to the players? I don't know. Did the players just not like him? I don't know. Well, there was cause for them not to like him, because he banned mayonnaise and he banned tomato ketchup and chips and pizza. He's bloody Italian. But anyway, he left the building, he walked out the door, and they put Christian Stellini in charge. He's a caretaker manager at the moment. I don't think the kid's got a Scooby-Doo. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. I think he did play for Bari in Italy at some point, but to be honest, I've never really heard him apart from this, apart from him being caretaker manager. But through the year there's been some strange results, and to be honest, there's a bit of a nasty taste in the Tottenham fans' mouths at the moment. I don't think they particularly like Daniel Levy. It reminds me a bit about something that happened in Newcastle United for quite a few years until our takeover. But to be fair, they're in a much better place than what we were. It just seems that they're not very harmonious in the minute, which is good which is brilliant for us. Now, I thoroughly expect that Newcastle United are going to be back on form after, like I say, that blip at Aston Villa. Not taking anything away from Aston Villa, they played very well actually. But this is a massive chance for all of those players. It's a big chance for us to revisit the Champions League after 20 years, can you believe? 20 years since we've been in the Champions League. Just doesn't seem that long. I've seen some wonderful games in that time. But obviously, you know, the usual suspects, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a really tough game. And the usual suspects, obviously, Harry Kane. We're going to have to watch Son, who hasn't been great this season, but, you know, you've still got to watch him. Danjuma, he's doing quite well there. But to be honest, I don't think Tottenham are a unit. That's the thing. I don't think that togetherness is right. I think Newcastle's togetherness is. And, you know, we've got, obviously, the likes of Isaac, Almiron, Wilson, you know, can all cause damage. I'm not that concerned about this game. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to beat them. I think we will go 6 points clear of them. And then it's just onwards and keep looking up. I think we just have to take each game as it comes from them. Obviously, both teams have got tough run-ins. I would say Tottenham have a tougher run-in, but we do have some hurdles on the way. I mean, for example, we will be playing, after that game, we will be playing on the Thursday night, we'll be playing Everton away. That's going to be a tough game because, you know, Sean Dyche sets them up to play hard, and you know, they're in a relegation battle at the moment, so it is going to be tough to break them down. But at the same time, Tottenham have to go away to Old Trafford and play Manchester United. So, you know, a lot of tough games coming. I think their game after that as well is against Liverpool. So we play Southampton after that. But, you know, it's not like Southampton are going to lie down, is it? They still obviously believe that they can still get out of it. Maybe a tough ask, but there you go. Now, I personally, I've got nothing against Dan Burn. I love Dan Burn. I think he's brilliant. He's a Geordie. I love him. But me personally, I think I would put Matty Target in on Sunday. I think I would start with Matty Target. I think he just gives us a bit of speed up that wing. He's a bit faster than Burn. And he seems he's fit and ready to go. So I would definitely make that change. I wouldn't change anything else really. Obviously, looks very much nailed on that we're not going to have Maxi. So that's that, isn't it? But in reality, I think Newcastle are going to win this, and I'm going to predict a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Like I say, I don't like predicting things because, you know, sometimes they just come back and shoot you in the foot, don't they? But no, I've got a feeling it's going to be a 2-1 win for Newcastle. And I think we're just going to go, like I say, onwards and upwards from there. Psychologically, if we beat Tottenham on Sunday, I think it'll be great for the lads, be great for the fans. And can you imagine what St James's Park is going to be like on Sunday afternoon? It'll be hostile, and it'll be noisy, and really it'll, with war flags and all of that. It will be a cauldron, and I hope that, you know, Tottenham Hotspur shit their pants when they come out that tunnel, because we can at St James's Park make that into a very hostile atmosphere for them. The 12th man is obviously massive to us on that particular day. Listen, I think I've probably said all that I can say you know, now it's just a case of waiting for the game, and I'll be back with post-match after that game. I will be watching it. I won't be at St James's Park, but I will be watching it. And if you are going to St James's Park, I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Listen, from me, the keeper, on Geordieland 1892. How are the lads? And 3 points on Sunday, and all the best to you, and I'll see you soon.